Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another 10 reasons comic books were better in the 90s. This is the second of these two videos here, so by all means, check out the original. Some people believe the 90s were the dark age of comics, and I believe we are living through a darker age of comics. And just to prove my point, I have the next 10 reasons comic books were better in the 90s. So, kick back, relax, enjoy. Number 10, Milestone Comics. Yes, I understand. Image was more popular. But in the early 90s, Image sucked. They really did. But Milestone, on the other hand, led by Dwayne McDuffie, was pretty dang cool, in all honesty. Had some pretty cool characters. Of course, the most famous of all being Static, which is just a lot of fun. And I did a first appearance Friday, or a comic book origins, as I'm now calling it, on Static, so check that out. But here you also have Hardware, you have Icon, and one of my favorite books was Blood Syndicate, which is basically a street gang with superpowers. I understand I was not the target audience of this, but I think that just speaks to the strength of Milestone Comics. Even though they were really going for a specific demographic, it was inspiring, and it was fun, and it was good for anyone who picked up the books to read. And yeah, I highly recommend you do that. I know a lot of you know Static from the cartoon, but check out the comic book because, man, it will open your eyes to a whole new character. Number 9, the Nightfall Saga. And yes, I am talking about the years-long Nightfall Saga, where we had the build-up to Bane. Of course, we had Nightfall, where Batman had to take down all of his enemies, and at the end, he faced down Bane, which we know how that ended. Crack. And then, of course, John Paul Valley, who was introduced in a miniseries called Sword of Azrael that we had no idea of the significance of. We didn't even have a significant idea of who Bane was going to be when he was in his own Vengeance of Bane one-shot. And then after that, you had John Paul Valley come in. And man, people hated John Paul Valley Batman. Hated it. But that was the point. It was to show the difference between the violent heroes that we were getting in comic books at that time versus the old school. And I think it worked brilliantly. So I do enjoy the segment with him. And, of course, I enjoy Bruce Wayne's comeback at the end. It is, from what I saw, like 3, maybe 4 $30 big old trade paperbacks worth of reading. You're going to get your money's worth. It's definitely a lot of fun to read and one of the best things of the 1990s. Number 8, Mad Love. This is the origin of Harley Quinn. So this is a while back. This is before Harley Quinn was annoying. This is before Joker and Harley Quinn broke up. And yes, I promise you, I'm not going to pile this list of Batman titles. But this is such an excellent story. Once again, it's the origin of Harley. And along with the origin, you do get the Joker and Harley's relationship. The Joker's really frustrated because he's trying to build the better mousetrap, or bat trap, I should say. And he comes up with a doozy, but he just can't get it to work. And so Harley Quinn, of course, you want to rev up your Harley? Irritates him, and he kicks her out. And it's such an amazing story. It's a great look at their relationship, too. And it was and is and always should be a dysfunctional relationship. But, man, it's better when they're together than when they're apart. One of the best Batman books, actually it's a Harley Quinn more than a Batman book, but it's just one of the best books out there. I can't recommend this more. Number 7, The Golden Age by James Robinson and Paul Smith. Wow, what a book. I just finished rereading this, as a matter of fact, so I'm kind of riding a high. I'm amazed that this isn't number 1. So anyway, it is such a dense story, and by that I mean just filled with character, filled with emotion. Paul Smith is incredible. His art is just dead on point in this book. So in this one, it's a mystery, it's an adventure story, it's a callback to the Golden Age. You're going to get to know the JSA here because James Robinson really does take his time to make sure that you know all of the characters, their motivations, what's going on in their lives. This takes place after World War II. So there's a lot of, it's when they retired. Kind of like the down period in comic books themselves, when superheroes were dying down and westerns, romance, horror, and all that kind of stuff were coming up. It is so much fun. So very good. And wow, just an amazing story. Amazing story. Number 6. Infinity Gauntlet, written by Starlin, drawn by Lim and George freaking Perez. Of course, this has got to be on a list at some point. I may be a little bit famous book heavy in this particular list. I'm including a lot of the big guns, but this is definitely one of the big guns of 1990s. It had us on the edge of our seats. This is the water cooler talk in the comic book shops. And of course, we knew they were going to bring back the half of the Marvel Universe that they had killed. It's not, oh my gosh, everybody's dead. It was not if they were coming back, it was how they were coming back. And they really did tell a great story. My favorite part, aside from the snap, of course, was Captain America towards the end there. I mean, I always liked that. I always liked, because they did that with the Korvac saga too, where Cap was the last man standing. It's just tells me exactly why he was a great hero for the Marvel Universe and why he's one of my favorite heroes from the Marvel Universe. Great story, this one. Number 5, Preacher. Now, the first time I read this, didn't care for it. Seriously, I read like the first 20 issues, like, it's all right. But then I watched a TV show and I said, okay, well, maybe I should give this a second chance. And when I did, wow. This really does take you out of your comfort zone sometimes. It is not the easiest of books to read, but wow, if you can make your way through the entire series, this will take you on a ride. Like I said, sometimes it'll be a little bit, oh my gosh, really? They're going there? But like I said, you stick to it. Hold on to those reins. It's a Bronco. It's going to buck you. But when all is said and done, you will feel as if you got your money's worth. Number 4, The Valiant Universe. And yes, with this in Milestone, I have to say, I reserve the right to talk about individual issues in further lists. That being said, Valiant came at a time when everybody was trying to make their own universe. And it almost felt like they were trying to get superhero names out there just so they could trademark them, just so they could get them copywritten. But this one was the comic book universe that didn't forget that these characters needed to be somebody you wanted to follow. This was run by Jim Shooter for a long time, and he made sure that these books were something people wanted to read. And it was a frenzy, man. Seriously. This was one of those things where you just, oh my God, I can't find the first issue of it. I have to buy it. I have to go get it. Oh my gosh. To the point where we were ignoring Golden Age. We were ignoring Silver Age to get the Valiant universe, because not only were they worth something monetarily, and this was back during the speculation age, they were worth something narratively as well. These are good, solid books that I would recommend you search them out. Number 3, Frank Miller's Sin City. All right, you want to talk about a book I have a love-hate relationship with. I love the noir style. I like Frank Miller's writing here. I like his art here. If you read his Daredevil runs, they were all practiced to get to Sin City. It just kind of led right up to it. I like the judicious use of color in Sin City. I like the black and white style. Everything just comes together. Now, my hate for Sin City is this is where Frank Miller died. This is where creatively with other characters, he stopped. Now everything is Sin City. He went to All-Star Batman. He wrote Sin City. He didn't write Batman. And it just seems like that's exactly what happened all the way through. He never got out of Sin City. But while he was here, while he was in this horrible place filled with horrible people, he gave us some beautiful moments. Number 2, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. While I'm not the biggest fan of the art, the writing is so incredible, it makes up for it, hands down. And there's just so much to this book. First of all, he took public domain figures and wrote an incredible adventure with them, and also managed to bring these literary legends to humanity, or brought humanity to them, I should say. It is just an incredible feat, because now they're human. Sometimes I think he went a little bit overboard with the vices, but otherwise, yeah, just amazing to see. Loved Edward Hyde in it, by the way. And I just think that he was quite disgusting in all the right ways. Overall, man, like I said before, if you haven't read this book, do yourself a favor. Pick it up, check it out. Check this out before you see the movie. Even though there's some ideas from the movie I wish they brought over, like Mina Harker being a vampire rather than a survivor of one. Otherwise, this is just top-notch. And the number one reason the comic books in the 1990s were better than they are today, for at least this list, is if the comic book community had a Lord of the Rings, it would be Bone. Seriously, this is an amazing adventure story. Jeff Smith nails it. It's just, here's something that I think really makes this story. It begins more personal. You have these three cousins, Phone Bone, Smiley Bone, and Phony Bone, who get run out of Boneville because of Phony Bone's mayoral race going awry. And they end up in this mysterious valley. They get to know the citizenry. They go to a town of Barrelhaven. These rat creatures are causing all sorts of problems, and that's where the drama is. And it really does start off as a personal story, and it just gets bigger and bigger as it goes, and it becomes epic. And by the time you're into all the battles and the more serious stuff, the suspense, you care so much about every character, not just the Bones, but all of the side characters as well. You want them all to do well. And it is just, like I said, one, it's well crafted. The balance between the suspense, the humor, the action is just spot on. I would love to see this as a Netflix series, not as a movie, but as a Netflix series. It's just, wow. I've got the one volume set, and I'm gonna read it again after talking about it like this. There you go, gang. 10 more reasons that comic books were better in the 1990s. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What did I leave off? I understand I left off Kingdom Come. Trust me, there's more to come. What did I leave off? What did I put there that you didn't think deserved to be there? Let me know in the comments section. Also, click like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't done it already, and go on over to Patreon and to Ko-Fi. Help us make videos for you. Also, if you like the video, just click on any one of the boxes that are popping up right now saying, hey, this video is just like it. You should enjoy this too. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.